pick here. So you can anticipate AD, or at least melee, solo laners. Something like the Jax, Renekton could be very high priority in that top side. We may well have a trade of those two picks. Wayward did play the Jax in game number 1. A Rookie looking towards that Azir. Again, this does feel like they're stock and standard for top esports at this point on the red side.
Top esports could consider Poppy if they want to look for the Azir in the mid lane. That is going to be the Tristana for the first time in tonight's series, and it is Top esports bringing it out as BLG. They traded both the Maokai and Tristana over for a Sejuani, but oh my god, that is Giga Bin on Giga Jax.
Instant lock-in for the Jax. The Azir gonna go the way of Yagao this time. We'll see what Rookie... Oh, sorry, what? I guess Wayward wants to lock in here. You'd assume that they're probably going to go for something like the Renekton here. You don't really want to allow for top laners to be banned away moving into the second phase. But then again, perhaps they've got priority that they want to go for elsewhere. No, it is going to be that K'Sante that we saw in the previous game. So, top half locked in for both teams, unless that Tristana could be a flex down to the bottom side as well.
We saw champions like the Xayah and the Aphelios is available. I'm not too sure if Elk wants to default back to that one once again. Sivir and Ashe is also another two champions that we have been seeing a little bit in the current meta. You know what would be fun? What if Elk plays Kalista with Rel? We saw Kalista coming out of, I believe it was Bilibili Gaming Light, and they went full early game, shutting down the opposing enemy AD carry from just level 3. And that could potentially be something that we're seeing, because I believe, like, back in patch 13.11, she did receive some slight damage buffs to her abilities, but we'll have to wait and see what they're cooking up in the kitchen, because that's also the Alistar getting taken away, signifying that top esports, they do want to lock in that Rel and take it away from On. But On, he's more than happy to play something like the Blitzcrank to really ruin top esports' life if they want to lock in a double 80 carry composition.
There we go, Rel taken off of the board. Not too surprising on that one, really. Just such a strong champion right now. Such a terrifying thing to have to play against. And will be removed. Xayah, though, has made it all the way through this draft. After the Nautilus is locked in, Rakan has been perma-banned so far. You would expect Elk to go for the Xayah. I feel like, honestly, BLG are basically locking in the top esports red side composition that we've got so used to seeing them play. I don't know whether they can win with it, whether they can show top esports how this composition is meant to be played.
And with the Braum saved as he gets the counter pick up against Mark locking in the Nautilus first. So top esports, they're saving this counter for the AD carry position. Whatever JackeyLove is cooking, unless that Tristana flexes towards the bottom side, it has to be huge, because Xayah and Braum into a Nautilus is going to make the early game 2v2 unplayable for Mark, to say the least. Although Draven is going to be considered, but top esports, they're looking for kills early.
They certainly are. Let's see what they're going to go for. It would be the JackeyLove Classic, wouldn't it? It would be vintage JackeyLove if we got to see the Draven. No, it's Tristana bot. It's Rookie taking an Akali in the mid lane, wanting that matchup versus Yagao. This suddenly got real interesting with Tristana going to the bottom lane.
Top esports, like you said, the Akali.
There's an Akali in the crowd.
There's an Akali in the crowd. Rookie is manifesting Akali for today. An absolute horrible matchup for Yagao to go up against in those team fights. But once again, you have to consider the fact that this is an Akali into Braum, Sejuani, and Xayah. So Rookie quite literally has to play this Akali perfectly in the team fights, or top esports. They kind of have the team composition.
A very different look to what we've been seeing so far in the series. Let's see if scaling can pay off for them. A little. Someone tried to start off a bonus gyro at the end there, and the rest of the crowd's like, not having any of it. Not having any of it. Here we go. Game number 3. BLG deciding to change things up. Going for a much more meta composition than what we saw in game number 1. Back on this blue side, though, feeling very defensive. I think that's the most green runes I've ever seen in a game of League.
You know why? It's because Demolish is absolutely broken. You see in both the top laners where K'Sante, the reason why he was dominating the top lane meta for quite a while was because no matchup would ever punish him in terms of the 1v1, and K'Sante would just find natural push and consistently collect tower plates in the early game. However, up against the Jacks, I do feel like they will be receiving somewhat of a jungle attention in the early game, especially Tian locking in the Sejuani, as BLG, their bottom lane is extremely safe. They have a Zai, they have a Braum. Unless they make a mistake and they overpush, burning the flash, they should be fine. While BLG, they're gonna put their resources towards that top side.
Aren't gonna get stunned up, so fairly even trade onto the supports, although on a lot less tanky than Mark currently. Once that Unbreakable comes online, that story changes. As the health can be deceptive there. Ignite comes out on the bottom side, but will be okay. In the meantime, Elk is just ignoring them, trying to clear these minions as fast as he can, but he's against Tristana, who's so good at pushing the wave.
Really good trade. Top Esports, they're gonna turn too soon.
Ooh. Great hook coming out from Mark here. Elk's in all kinds of trouble. Surely will be forced to flash. He's holding on to it until they go underneath the tower. JackeyLove level 2. I don't think he's got the jump though. Still has flash. Elk might just have to reset here, honestly.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate for the bottom lane on top Esports. I believe they were 1 minion off level 2. Mark went for it, but the minion didn't die fast enough, so they were just 2v2ing both players being level 1. But like you said, Elk is extremely low once again and put in a very similar position like that game 2. But I think it should be fine because he is going to find a slow freeze on this bottom lane where maybe Shun can look for an angle onto Marky.
Luckily, he's low at a low level, so when you level up, you gain a bunch of extra HP, can help you kind of stay in lane a little bit longer. It's better to lose health at level 1 than it is to lose health at level 2, is what I'm saying. So, be able to stay in the lane at least for now as resets coming out from JackeyLove and Mark. Bin starting as he means to go on in the top side, already with a CS lead. Tian is up on that top side though, so Bin does have to be a little cautious with how aggressively he plays. And Alkanon will be able to crash this wave and get a reset off of their own.
Top Esports also spots Shun from that ward place in the river, so it is going to be a trade in scuttles. But something very interesting about Top Esports is in their series up against EDG, and specifically for Wayward vs Arla, Jax was permabanned for every single game. They decided to give Bin a Jax and let Wayward play the K'Sante vs Jax matchup, where I feel like Jax is favored. He is going to find natural push, and he also has lane priority in most of these situations. And also wins the late game, so I mean Wayward, he really needs to make up for those team fights or at least find a slight even advantage with Tian moving up towards his lane.
Yeah, it goes beyond just the matchup as well. It feels like Wayward needs to continue to show he deserves this position on the team, you know, that like he has had a bit of a rough split. He's had much better games this split than he did in spring, but does need to show that he can go toe-to-toe with Bin. Bin, a player that has decimated many a top laner over the year. Now in the 1v1 with Wayward, managing to get those side steps out, doing a good job of holding this wave here. Shun hovering in the wings as well. And Bin should end up with a CS lead after clearing. That's got to be 10 minions on the screen right there.
I can't count, but that does look like around 10 minions. However, considering the fact that Wayward, you know, getting the starting position over Tian for the summer split, the comparison between the two players has been ongoing ever since the start of the year, because you saw Top Esports, they started the year with Tian in that top lane and slowly subbing him out for Wayward, but I'd hope to hold that.
On flashes away as Tian moves into this lane. JackeyLove actually kind of losing out on the trade there, honestly. As Elk is able to just free fire, but it's a summoner burnt on the side of BLG, which Top Esports will be very happy with. Whether or not Tian can return to that bottom lane and capitalize on the lack of Braum flash will be the question.
And that's double flashes burnt. Like you said, no summoners available for the side of BLG's bottom lane unless Elk utilizes that cleanse perfectly. But this time around, you see Shun already kind of protecting this bottom lane just in case JackeyLove goes for another gank. But my eyes are still onto this top lane because we do have Bin level 6 and he is finding some decent trade with the Rift Hold also spawning in 2. I'm assuming BLG, they will give this Dragon over towards Top Esports and really contest for this Rift Hold, which they have a Braum. Braum up against the entirety of Top Esports roster is great, and they want to place this for Bin to really open up the map for the Jacks.
Certainly is. And I feel like On has been playing so well too that it almost feels like a shame to put him on Braum. Like, Braum duty is not many supports' favorite place to be, and how much of a playmaker On has been over the course of the year as well, but certainly very capable hands when it's such a crucial pick for your composition, for protecting both Yagao and Elk. Letting Bin cause a ruckus from that Jax. Control ward defended though, as Tian moves back in. Sean wants to find a fight for himself. Jumps over the wall. Tian, the target here, is on. Jumps on forward. Double Freljord means double stuns onto Tian. He's going to try and get over that wall. Yagao shows up, and that forces the flash.
That's the problem. You already have Yagao having that first move as the Azir BLG. They're currently packed as 4.
Rookie is level 6 right here. This could be dangerous. He dives into the backside already. The stun's starting to stack, but he's invisible for now. Is Elk in trouble? The feathers fly in! And it's 1-for-1 to start us off. Yagao trying to chase for a little bit more, but it will just be carry for support.
And that is just the glimpse of the Akali into the entirety of BLG's composition so far. The Braum passive, the feathers, everything is going to be up against Rookie when it does come to these assassinations onto the backline. But like you said, it is going to be a kill into Rookie's pockets, as it is a 1-for-1 trade. But Elk also revives from how the start of this lane happened. Mark finds a perfect hook onto the mid laner of BLG, onto the Azir, and everything goes wide for Yagao in this team fight. Rookie utilizes the his, I believe, Cloud, and then goes onto Elk. I believe it was actually onto On, and then finds that kill. But still, these fights are going to be incredibly hard unless Rookie has a flank.
Yeah, Rookie, I mean, that was before Featherstorm's even online, and On's ultimate as well. Like, can be incredibly tough for him to dive into this team. Braum is going to do a lot to buy space for the carries. Top Esports just get themselves an early Drake here as Shun trades it in the top side for a Herald. Has that Jax up there, so we'll have the advantage to be able to control the top side objective. And Tian happy to just trade these ones for now. It's an Ocean Drake to start us off here, but I'm looking towards Yagao because he's the one that ends up with a kill at the end of that play, which, you know, Azir getting gold early, very, very good for BLG, but mechanically, oh, that was a little dicey. Tian didn't actually have smite there. Elk almost gets him with the feathers. Mark is going to wait in the brush, but Yagao is here. I don't know if this is a fight Top Esports can win. Root won't connect from Elk. A couple of mechanical missteps. Oh, what a play from Yagao, answering for his previous mistake as On slides in and steals the kill.
That was pixel perfect from the Azir. Now you see Shin trading the map, getting the Rift Herald, and now pressuring this top lane tower and getting so much gold into Bin's pockets. Is Kasate dead here?
I think he might just be. Shun happy to tank for as long as needed. Bin finishes the job, doesn't even have to flash. And there's a Herald in Shun's pocket. They could just finish this tower off if they want to. BLG decide they don't even need to drop the Herald because Bin is already dominating.
That is absolutely insane. Top Esports, they're the ones looking for the play towards the bottom side, but BLG, they come out on top in the top 2v1. They come out on top in the bottom side as well. They're winning across the entire map in this early game, and that's not what you want to be giving over, especially locking in the Tristan and Akali, where you need to be the ones fighting these early leads.
You certainly do. Top Esports, you know, having this more aggressive composition on that red side, but falling behind, and it feels like the blue side just consistently getting advantages. Not just today, even, like across playoffs. I don't know what the actual stats are, but it feels very blue side favors across playoffs so far here in the LPL. It's a great little start for BLG. Let's take another look at how confidently they play this. Look at this combo from Yagao on JackeyLove.
Yeah, Yagao realistically was just trying to counter the dive that Top Esports could have looked for, but the pixel perfect Shurima shuffle to come out of the mid lane of BLG catches JackeyLove out of position. Rookie didn't have first move.
Oh,
Sonra
no.
picked up for Bin after getting 2 plates into his pockets. No flash available for Wayward, so he is going to become an ATM for Bin to really start chowing down on, and that's the Rift Herald getting dropped.
I mean, this is just brutal, isn't it? The Rift Herald's not even been dropped yet. They will commit it. I was going to say, I feel like Bin could actually just finish this tower by himself anyway, but Herald will come down to make sure that the tower is finished off. Those plates are guaranteed on. That's not the place to face check right now. You're making a play on the top side of the map. On will go down. Elk, big damage onto JackeyLove, but he can't actually finish the job. I feel like that was a little bit greedy from On.
I think it's safe to say that for some reason, our bottom laners in the LPL are sometimes mind controlled. You see your own jungler hard camping this top lane, but for some reason in some world you still try to look for that vision in the tri-bush, and they just get picked off. That shouldn't be a circumstance for top esports to come back into the game.
Tell me if I'm just crazy here. I'm like theory crafted on why On's done that, because On has been playing so well recently. I think maybe he's trying to fish to find Tian to make sure that Bin can push for that extra charge on the Herald, to make sure Bin knows he has space in the top side to continue making plays, perhaps.
And your DC string just wrapping around the tri-bush, but I needed to see another replay of the bottom side if we do get one. I guess Brom's death isn't that significant to the game, but I just feel like the Brom should never be making those type of mistakes, because if Tian isn't in top lane to counter dive, then where else could he be? Yeah,
it did feel a bit of an odd play from On, especially from a play that has been, like you say, so good across the course of this year. The difference between On in 2022 and 2023 is night and day. He's had such a level up. But, I mean, when you look at the scoreboard right now, it's a little bit scary for top esports, isn't it? As they try and make a play on the bottom side. Unhooked in here, Unbreakable. Can it save him? In fact, I think it's on cooldown. This is going to be a kill gifted over to JackeyLove as Rookie tries to proto belt to grab the kill himself. He sacrificed a wave in mid to be there. Won't be able to find anything, but still another kill onto On. And, you know, just as I'm complimenting the man, he's 1-3-1.
He is indeed, but I feel like when you are in those type of situations, maybe that hook, bit of a lollipop, honestly. I wasn't kind of expecting the Brom to get hooked in that position, as On also had the flash available, so maybe he was even caught off by surprise. But that's going to be Dragon Party being thrown over to the side of top esports as they try to secure their second dragon to continue the dragon stacking. But once again, going back to the BLG composition, if Bin on this Jax gets ahead, although he might not be able to find kills onto Wayward later on into the game because it's a Cassante, Bin will have consistent prio in the side lane, and he can look for flanks onto people like JackeyLove and Rookie, which will make these teamfights so much harder.
I mean, the fact that he's already got a tier 2, we're only 13 minutes into the game when that went down. Like, he is so far ahead of anyone else in the game. Bin is a monster on the server right now, and it's on his signature, it's on Jax. This is the pick that he made a name for himself on. You have to fear him if you're a fan of top esports right now, because he will not mess about on this pick. We'll see what he can get done. As On has to face check once again. Unbreakable will keep him alive as a knock-up. And now TPs across the board. Elk blocks as Bin joins the fray. Looking for Mark. Shun starting in the meantime. Yagao knocks Tian away and takes him out. Rookie behind enemy lines here. Featherstorm is on cooldown, so they've got to be cautious of Elk. Diving in. Shuriken lands. Stun onto Wayward though, who's forced out. Rookie can't get back into the play. He gets one onto On, but it's just not enough. And this will be a Drake for BLG.
And BLG, they still win the bottom side skirmish because Bin on this Jax is just the difference maker. With the amount of gold he has, is Mark dead?
It's a bonus for Yagao, but JackeyLove can chase him on through and go even on it. Yagao very aggressive there. And that's a shutdown given over to JackeyLove as well.
Look, although we were saying that On was 1-3-1 on this Brom, the Brom value in this game is absolutely nuts. He blocks out on a majority of JackeyLove's damage at this initial hook from Mark. He blocks out pretty much every single ultimate from the side of top esports, including Tian's Nature Grasp, and you see Tian and Rookie then turning their attention towards Yagao, but being an Azir, you can just push the front line away from top esports, and this Akali being in the middle of everyone, the Brom once again finds another Q, I believe, onto Rookie, slowing him down as well, and that's not even mentioning Bin being an absolute titan and him just zoning out 3-4 members by himself.
Yeah. I have to say, Elk, very confident positioning there with an Akali just over the Dragon Pit wall. Like, if that's Gala, he's gone. He's back at bottom tier 1 tower, like the second he sees an Akali. Oh yeah, BLG still ahead, 4,000 gold, and Top Esports, they don't want to let this Herald go without a fight because Bin is in the bottom side of the map right now. That's where all the gold is. On the front line, Unbreakable to protect him and his team. Herald taken and Tian down. BLG, even without Bin, are winning the fights.
The mojo is slowly growing for the side of BLG. That's going to be dropped in mid lane, and the entire top side is going to be split open. Mark even has to hook away. I mean, this Braum is by himself, but Top Esports, they can't really do anything because Wayward, he's not going to fight too much on this Cassante splitting bot, where they lose 2 towers in the mid lane.
This is going to be a tier 2 taken. The tier 2 was already taken at the top side as well. These are some incredibly valuable heralds coming out from BLG this game. With the fact that they could contest the second Drake as well. Everything going their way. And like you say, the story of Mojo here. Knight left Top Esports this year. Well, I guess last year. And the question is, did he take the Mojo with him over to JDG? Top Esports, you've got to prove me wrong.
And the headache for the side of Top Esports now is that they invested so much into the Tristana WinCon, consistently having Tian hover towards his bottom side, where they ideally would have wanted a dragon stacking going on because every Rift Herald has gone into the hands of Xun. But with BLG winning that most recent dragon fight, they secure themselves the second dragon. And Top Esports, they lose so much from giving over the Rift Herald as well. So they're just kind of losing in terms of the macro game right now.
Yeah. So now we need to see some creativity from Top Esports. JackeyLove saying, you know, BLG and JDG, even when they're behind, they're never quite caught out. That's what Top Esports always used to be known for back in the day. That was their, you know, you could never count this team out. That's what the mojo was all about, right? This is the game where they can show us that, where Rookie on an Akali can show us he can flex his muscles. JackeyLove, you know, flexing this Tristana down to the bottom side. Let's see what they can do to find a way back into this game, because if it just goes all scaling, like Azir, Xayah, Jax, let's be honest, BLG are winning that one. We need to see Top Esports find some crazy way to approach this game, because I feel like on paper, this is all BLG.
Yeah, with also the Baron spawning in 1 minute, Bin is going to be a consistent threat in the side lane where he can start looking, or at least considering the inhibitors of Top Esports, while BLG, they have extremely fast Baron taking ability with the Xayah and Azir, and the Azir slowly picking up his second item. I mean, this is just a bit of a ticking time bomb for the side of Top Esports to deal with, because they're not going to get any stronger.
We'll see if they can, as we get a replay of, oh, good W there from JackeyLove.
That as well.
Yeah, I think had to, because he would have still been stunned where he landed, and maybe Xun could flash on him or something, I'm not sure. But either way, Cleanse on cooldown. His flash currently on cooldown as well, as he's finished his Navori. Both AD carries in a very similar spot, somehow, gold-wise. And that early lead for the bottom side, not really going to lead into anything here in the mid game because of how these fights have been going. And I feel like BLG are doing to Top Esports what Top Esports should have been doing to BLG when they locked in the Azir on the red side.
20-3 incident. Oh, let's not talk about that. It's a bit of a disaster, to say the least. But, you know, this time around, BLG, they're executing correctly.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, like, we've seen this almost exact composition from Top Esports multiple times in playoffs now, and multiple times they've been really aggressive early. And I was going to say BLG are being patient. Actually, BLG have been really aggressive early. It's just worked out, so I take my point back.
Problem is Top Esports, they're just going to give over this dragon once again for free, but really struggle to find anything on the other side of the map. The Xayah and the Azir siege ability, Top Esports are never going to be able to really take down this tier 1 tower in the mid lane unless they find a huge ace. But once again, all eyes on Bin and how he's going to be able to impact the side lanes, because you already see Top Esports, they want to look for a flank onto this Akali and getting their hands there.
Hook onto On, but he's unbreakable for the time being. JackeyLove in trouble at the backside of things. Tian goes in. Wayward pulls Elk over the wall. Can they finish the AD carry? The feathers come back in and Wayward's down. Elk survives. In the meantime, though, Rookie tearing them apart. Shun goes down and it's 2 for Rookie. Has been in a 1v4 on the backside and he doesn't have any mana. Yagao trying to protect his top laner. Rookie walks away with his life. But Yagao can't finish him off. The Conqueror comes through. Triumph, sorry, but Rookie lives on.
That's huge for the side of Top Esports. They finally found the opportunity to open up the map. That's tier 1 tower for this mid lane. And also Rookie comes back into this game on a Kali. You see the solo laners of Top Esports putting in so much work on just zoning out the carries of BLG. And this was an extremely split fight from start to finish from the BLG roster, as the Sejuani also goes wide. So that is one of BLG's main engages gone. You also have Bin utilizing his TP to join in on the fight. And this Jax was zoning 1v3. But Wayward getting Elk to such low HP, and then Yagao also not having the correct position to really start DPSing. I mean, this Akali was just pretty much having the time of her life. Well, very unfortunate as well that Bin was also However, Yagao, I mean, he evens out the trade with just going in here.
So confident, but the Q was like a pixel short of hitting Rookie there. Smiles across the faces of the fans. Some people smiling, some people with their heads in their hands after that fight. Rookie shows us why his Akali has to be feared. BLG still with the lead in this one, but I think a crucial fight to show us how Top Esports can actually win this game, right? Because we saw when they're fighting in a choke point, when they're fighting into the funnel of BLG, they can't win out the straight 5v5. But when BLG gets separated like that and can't just cluster up, that's where Top Esports can find their advantages.
Yeah, and all started with Rookie finding a flank on this Akali, going for a wide one, in fact. But that's also TP away from Bin, so that is also going to be 5 minutes of free time that this Jax won't really have that side lane threat. On spot out.
Certainly is. Unbreakable keeps him alive for a moment here. Walks over to the rest of his team, and the Cloud Rift gets him out. Now the re-engage from Bin. Counter-strike onto multiple players, and he's got a stopwatch as well. Feathers are out.
Oh,
back in again. Elk takes one as Wayward in a 1v4 on the backside. Yagao finds more. And BLG, they are having none of this. They put Top Esports in their place.
The perfect front to back for BLG to play off, as Elk on the Zion lands a massive feather storm, and that's going to be Baron also then resetting and start considering for setup around this third Dragon Soul point. But Top Esports, they finally found a way back in the game, but they threw it away because they were too impatient with how the team fight was played out.
Yagao with a phenomenal Emperor's Divide towards the end of that fight as well. It would have just been a couple of picks, turning it into a full-on teamfight win. The engage on the Braum never feels like the best idea.
And Shun also tanks the Nature's Grasp to save on from that exchange. Bin finds a double stun onto the front line of Top Esports, but just look at Elk. He goes untouched this entire team fight because it's such a tiny choke that every single feather connected onto the front line of Top Esports. And this is what makes BLG's composition so deadly. The front-to-back potential where even Yagao lands an amazing Shurima Shuffle to cut off the remaining members of Top Esports. But this game just exploded out of control, and I think Bin with a Baron buff, that is going to be scary.
Look at the damage from Elk. 5,000 on the Xayah. Left alone. Finally wasn't threatened by Rookie after the all-in coming towards On. Now an attempt onto Yagao. Shun is here. Bin is here too. Empress Divide to keep Yagao safe, but he's all out of time. A good pick from Top Esports, but can they finish the fight off? Everyone diving onto Elk, but the Featherstone keeps him alive. Rookie on the back line, and he's found Elk. He's taken him out of the picture. Bin moves back over, but Rookie dodges him. A hook onto Tian, but Bin with a double kill underneath the tower as he goes forward again. And JackeyLove's down. Bin is a monster, and he don't believe in recycling. Tian punts him away though and answers, but Bin somehow heals up. Rookie alone versus the world. It feels like the story of TES in playoffs. Now with another one, looking for more. Reset out from Bin, and Shun will escape.
God, that was the most insane Akali versus Jack situation I've ever seen. TP from Bin, they're gonna secure themselves this third soul point. But Elk and Yagao were just instantly out of the situation. Is Rookie looking for a TP? He doesn't have the TP available, so he is just waiting for Bin to really show up on the map before he goes up for that wave. He's just way too scared of knowing BLG Bin TPing back into the bottom side, but still, Tian on the Maokai, he played it as perfectly as he could have when denying Bin from that final kill onto him, but there just wasn't any damage left as JackeyLove just got instantly shut down by this Jax as well. But Yagao gets caught off from initial engage from the side of top esports, and even with the Emperor's Divide, it doesn't matter too much because they had an insane flank angle from Rookie and Wayward onto the backline. Elk was just consistently getting hooked by Mach as well. And then you have Rookie just using his ultimate and shutting down the AD carry. But Bin on this Jax, I believe Tian denied him 2 opportunities, but still, this Jax is way too much of a problem where JackeyLove didn't find that early lead that he needed.
Bin played so fantastically. I will say Tian doing a really good job of denying
this one
Bin.
as well.
Multiple cues forward and multiple punts backwards. I'm not even sure what that heal was from Bin as he manages to survive there, get the kill onto Tian. Tian thought he had it. Rookie getting a bonus one at the end. And BLG now sieging in the mid lane. They've got a Sun Disc to retreat to, but that's Featherstorm already out from Elk. He's going to be pushed into the team, but flashes back over the Emperor's Divide. Rookie should be stunned any second. Bin has found him, and with Rookie down, I don't know what top esports can do to hold on.
And also a mid-wave slowly working towards this mid-lane inhibitor as well. I mean, that's your assassin dead. JackeyLove, he is a Tristana, potentially can look to protect the Nexus towers, but no major ultimates available. They're going to look for a double inhibitor.
Full 30 seconds remaining. Big damage out from JackeyLove here, but answers it from Yagao as well. Health bars are pretty low from BLG. They've got to be a bit cautious on this one. Will be backing away on jumping over to his teammate Q3. Oh, Wayward just a split second too late. And it will be BLG taking a mid-inhib and backing off, but they don't get 2, and that's crucial.
Yeah, a single mistake out of Rookie just means this Akali is completely useless in the team fight. He got connected by on this Braum, and the passive landed like you saw. And then Bin proc the stun onto the Akali, and that is Flash also gone for Rookie for this next up-and-coming teamfight, which will be centered around the Baron. But with mid lane consistently pushed in, JackeyLove needs to be in mid lane. Rookie doesn't have that much wave clear compared to the rest of BLG, and it's going to be really hard trying to find a similar flank angle that Top Esports desperately needed to work off.
On just going to be clearing away vision here. It's like you say, Rookie, he can't afford to get caught. It's 2 minutes until Drake comes up, and that'll be solved for BLG despite Top Esports getting the first one of the game. BLG have been in control ever since, and now, in case Bin wasn't scary enough, he's got a GA online as well. He's an absolute monster that I'm not sure if there's any way to deal with him at this point. He can keep on putting pressure on the bottom side. His TP is about to come back off a cooldown. Baron up in 30 seconds. BLG have control of the top side of the map for now, but their vision isn't too deep. They've got one control ward a bit further back, but they need to deny more vision from Top Esports.
Yeah, Elk sitting on 3 items, also Yagao working towards his Rabadons. They can rush this Baron instantly the second it spawns, especially with Bin being in the bottom. Is Top Esports going to look for a pick here?
Okay, On drops the ward in first, moves in with his team. I love that though. Top Esports going for the classic Fnatic death brush from many, many eons ago. They're like, look, we're 10k going down. Let's see if someone will overstep. And On has overstepped a couple of times trying to get vision in this game, so I can certainly see where they're coming from. But it's not going to work out for them here. This is BLG we're talking about. They've got themselves in a good spot as Mark found with an ultimate. JackeyLove forced away as well. Bin gets a stun onto Tian, forces the flash out from him. Rookie is here as the TP comes out from Wayward, but look at his health bar vanish! It's a magic trick from BLG. Rookie dives on in, but it's 2 for Elk already. Featherstorm on cooldown, but I don't think Rookie can finish the job here. Bin once more as he flashes onto JackeyLove. A triple for Elk as the solo laners reign supreme for BLG. A double for Yagao. We're all just sheep, and he's the Yagoat. 24-11 as BLG find a second game in the series and push themselves to match point.
What an amazing game 3 coming out of the BLG roster. I mean, the team fighting was just beautiful from start to finish, and they did what top esports couldn't and executed on this composition beautifully. Where Yagao on this Azir, and of course, Elk playing the